Hi, my dear friends. Today we will do the revision of chapter 12, Organic Chemistry. Before we see what is organic chemistry, first of all, we will see what is organic compounds. While we were having very less idea of chemistry and science, the people used to think that certain substance like coal, sugar, starch, protein, fats, acids, they cannot be prepared artificially. They can be obtained only from living things, plants and animals. So these compounds were termed as organic compounds, and the branch of chemistry dealing with organic compounds were termed as organic chemistry. And we had the idea that certain substance which can be produced artificially or which can be obtained from non-living things, they were termed as inorganic compounds, and the branch were called as your inorganic chemistry. As we have the idea that organic compounds were obtained directly from nature, we had the concept that there is a divine force which is acting, and we are getting organic compounds from plants and animals. So there may be a vital force, there may be a divine force. This concept was called as your vital force of theory. But this vital force theory of organic compounds was rejected as soon as this German chemist his name was Friedrich Wöhler. What Friedrich Wöhler has done, he reacted ammonium chloride with potassium cyanate. It is cyanate, potassium cyanate. Then ammonium cyanate plus KCl was formed. This ammonium cyanate was heated and CONH2 whole 2 means it is your urea. Urea was prepared. See, my dear friends, this is CONH2 whole 2, or even we can write CON2H4 or N2H4CO or NH2CONH2. All four are correct. Simply, it is the rearrangement of the atoms. So, this preparation of urea by Friedrich Wöhler was the first one, and this idea that we cannot prepare organic compounds became very weak, and slowly after some times Kolbe prepared acetic acid. Kolbe prepared acetic acid by passing coke and hydrogen gas in electrical furnace. He prepared this C2H2 ethine, acetylene. When this acetylene was treated with dilute sulfuric acid in presence of mercurous sulfate, it was oxidized. It was oxidized to form, this is your acetaldehyde, which on further oxidation it prepared CH3COOH acetic acid. Now after the preparation of this acetic acid, this idea was totally discarded that we cannot produce organic compounds. Now it was supposed that we can prepare organic compounds. Then it was given another concept, what should be the organic compounds. So organic compounds are the compounds of carbon, means it essentially contains carbon, and organic chemistry is the branch of study about the carbon compounds, but it excludes something. What is excluded? Oxides of carbon, like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, though it contains carbon, but it is not included in organic chemistry. Then metallic carbonates like sodium carbonates, zinc carbonate, all metallic carbonates, it contains carbon but not included. Metallic bicarbonates, it is contains hydrocarbon but not included. Then compounds like metal cyanides, potassium cyanide, KCN, it contains carbon but not included. Carbides, aluminium carbides, calcium carbides, though contains carbon but not included in organic compounds. Now, what are the sources of organic compounds? So, first, plants. Plants, what do they give us? They give us sugar, starch, cellulose, glucose, and many other things we can get from plants. Animals, it gives us fats, urea, protein, carbohydrates. We get these things from animals. From coal, destructive distillation of coal. If we go back, what is destructive distillation? When we heat the organic compounds in absence of air means oxygen, so or in the limited supply of air, the compounds breaks up to form the new substances. So this breaking down of substance by heating in absence of air or limited supply of air is called your destructive distillation. So when coal is subjected for destructive distillation, it produces benzene, toluene, naphthalene. Then petroleum. Many organic compounds can be prepared by petroleum, like gasoline, fuel gas like LPG, diesel, kerosene, petrol, naphtha are obtained from petroleum. Then fermentation. What is fermentation? Breaking down of organic compounds by the microorganisms. We will see it later on in details, and you have studied in bio also. This change of sugar into alcohol is your example of fermentation. Wood, methyl alcohol, acetones, wood spirits, they can be obtained from wood by destructive distillation. Synthesis method. Nowadays, most of the organic compounds are prepared by synthesis method. Here are some differences. We should know. You may be given differentiate between organic and inorganic compounds on the basis of, you may be given 2, 3, 4 points. Presence of carbon. So for organic compounds, carbon is necessary. But for inorganic compounds, carbon is not necessary. Solubility in water. Normally, organic compounds, they do not dissolve in water. Have you ever seen or have you ever heard that coal is soluble in water? Obviously no. So organic compounds, generally they are insoluble in water, but they are readily, but they do not dissolve in water. What they are means inorganic. They are highly soluble in water. So organic compounds are insoluble in water and they are insoluble in water. Sorry. sorry. Organic compounds they are insoluble in water, but inorganic compounds readily dissolve in water. One more thing, solubility in organic solvents. These organic solvents like kerosene, diesel, alcohol, spirit, benzene, toluene, chloroform, they also dissolve the compounds. So, the organic compounds which do not dissolve in water will dissolve in organic solvents like this: alcohol, acetone, benzene, chloroform, toluene. So, organic compounds are soluble, but inorganic compounds, they are soluble in water, but they are insoluble in organic solvents. Melting point and boiling point. Normally these organic compounds, they don't have high melting point. They have low melting and low boiling point, and they easily they easily breaks down on heating. But inorganic compounds, normally they have high melting and high boiling point. Then combustibility, whether it can catch fire or not. So organic compounds, they easily catch fire. They are combustible. They are inflammable. But inorganic compounds, they do not catch fire. They are not flammable. Bonding. Organic compounds are formed by covalent bonds. They form covalent bonds, but they form ionic bonds. Conductivity. They do not conduct electricity. But they are good conductor of electricity, means they are good electrolytes. Isomerism. What is isomerism? We had seen having same molecular formula but different structural formula. So organic compounds having more than 4 or more carbon atoms, they form isomers. So organic compounds show the phenomenon of isomerism, but inorganic compounds, they never exhibit isomerism. Organic compounds, they have characteristics colors. They all have specific colors. Like coal, it is black. Graphite, it is grayish black. And they have specific smell, odor. But most of the inorganic compounds are colorless and odorless. Reactions. The rate of reaction of organic compounds is normally slow because they have the strong linkage. They have the linkage of carbons. We will see it in our next class. But this inorganic compounds, ionic reactions are very fast, and the compounds which are made by ionic reactions are fast and covalent reactions, it is slow. So my dear friends, we will see another topics. What are the applications that we cannot survive without organic compounds? Almost all the things they contains carbon. So organic compounds are extremely useful. Soap, shampoo, oil, they all contains carbon. They are organic compounds. The clothes we wear, it also contains carbon. The grains we eat, whether it is wheat, rice, pulse, they all contains carbon. The fuels we use to cook also contains carbon. So without organic compounds, we cannot proceed even a single step in our life. So in next class, we will proceed this. This chapter is very important. You will get the questions of 15 to 16 marks in board exam. So prepare every chapter very well. See you. Goodbye.